Yo, what up, people? Schizophrenic to the motherfucking rah, nigga. Here for Number Zero Talks, episode 0021 for your ass. And today, because it's nearing the end of the school semester for these teens, and some teens are going to have to start going to college, and they're going to start seriously thinking about what they're going to do with their life, I'm going to give you the careers and the options that you can possibly make. So if you're in high school or you're about to graduate high school or maybe graduate high school next year, this video will still be pretty much relevant. It will basically break down the career choices. Okay, many people know that the good high-paying careers are usually like doctors and somewhat nurses, and then there are the more like average jobs like being an accountant or a secretary. And then there are the more rewarding jobs like being a teacher or a fireman / police officer, because the fire department and the police are usually intertwined, and usually it's off-duty police. Or, yeah, usually it's off-duty police that be doing the firework now. There's not really in many places an actual fire department that you can really join. Usually you gotta become a cop, and then you can do it in your off time and still get somewhat paid, or volunteer firefighters. Save your city from burning down by volunteering to become a firefighter. Take the 6-week class and help your community. But look, stuff's gonna get real for you teens, especially if you're around 17, 18 now, and you just got out of school and now you're about to hit summer, and you're about to have all this free time, and you're about to start getting into college, and you're gonna be going off to college in a couple of months after summer's done, and you're gonna start your fall semester, your very first semester at college. I did some college. I know how it is. It'll be very kind of stressful and overworking for some. Some will want to just party and wild out because they're finally away from their parents and all the constrictions. And you want to party just a little bit, but you also want to be very safe, because you can't really trust all these crazy motherfuckers around the world. The people that have been in college for like 8 years, that are the leaders of sororities and shit like that. That nigga didn't finish college for a reason, because he just wants to get drunk and party and have sex with girls and use them, and possibly even, I don't want to say it, but drug them and stuff like that. You got to be aware of that, women and even men. You might want to join a sorority. And basically, you got to choose your career choices. And there are many different types of career choices you can choose. Like, gaming is a coming field. Learning how to build games and develop games. Even some game testing, but not really game testing as much, because that isn't a very high-paying job. And it will get kind of stressful becoming a game tester. Becoming a game developer is even more stress, but it's more paying. It's way more paying. So you could possibly get into coding and then get a job in cybersecurity, which is a very good paying job in cybersecurity. Because these threats be hitting every second of the day, and you never know. You may just click on a link and think that everything's okay, and you see a web page, but in reality, they could be going after your information. So cybersecurity helps block that. You could someday work for Google or work for Amazon in their cybersecurity, stopping people from stealing your saved credit card information and stuff like that, and then charging you. You could someday work for YouTube with cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a very growing field, and I recommend that you get someone into cybersecurity, especially right now. If you're about to start going into college, you want to look for what you have to take and to get a good job in cybersecurity, because the threats are real. Hackers from other countries are constantly trying to steal information and data, and if you're in cybersecurity, you get to be on the good side that stops it and tracks it down and saves people's livelihoods. Not really their lives, because they're not. They say it's a victimless crime, but it really isn't. It really isn't, because there's always going to be victims in the crime. So it isn't victimless. But it is a blue collar crime. No. Blue collar crime is basically like fucking run up with a gun. It's mostly like a white collar crime. Like forgery and fake IDs and stuff like that. Those are white collar crimes. While stuff where you get your hands on, you get dirty, is blue collar crime. And trust me, kids, trust me, teens, trust me, young adults, cybersecurity is a very growing field. But then we also always need our doctors. If you're good with your hands, if you can have steady hands, you might also want to try the field of surgery, and you will be able to save lives. All doctors take an oath that they will always try their hardest to save a life regardless of what they have done, because a life is a life. And becoming a doctor is a very, very high paying job, but it's also a lot of stress. If you don't want to be stressed out, but you want to be paid very handsomely, doctor isn't really the way to go. Starting a small business is kind of hard, but you can get a little bit into business. You can take business and learn more about businesses in college. Or you can just get into arts and entertainment and learn about music producing and take an art class at you. I recommend that everybody in college for one of your courses takes a communication course. It can be one of your free credits that doesn't go towards your degree, but is going towards your overall credit score in order to get your bachelor's and stuff like that, and your associate's degree, or maybe even your PhD. Communication is important. I also recommend a theater class because you want to express yourself while you're in college. And if you're going to college for sports, you're definitely going to want to take a theater class because it's a very easy A. It's a very easy A. All you have to do is participate and express yourself. And you can pass a theater class and it'll be one of the easiest classes that you ever take. Unless it isn't actual hands-on theater and it's about the history of theater. Or if it's even the other side of theater, which is basically like producing the props for theater. That theater can also get you into movies and acting. But then we also have, we went through technology basically. We went through arts and entertainment. We went through, next we'll go into a lesser known category of, besides the healthcare industry, of becoming a doctor, or possibly taking a trade school course to become a nurse, and also saving lives, but on a smaller scale where you're not the one their lives aren't necessarily in your hands, just their body at the moment is in your hands. And you have to help care for people, including the elderly and the sick and the people that just got exploded in like maybe like a fire, cooking in the backyard, propane tank explodes. The first person you're going to see ain't going to be the doctor. It's going to be the nurse, and she's going to dress your wound, and she's going to, if you go into shock, she's going to call somebody in to basically save your life. The nurses have a hard job when we get into the medical field. Nurses have a very hard job, but it is a rewarding job, but it is a selfless job. Because you may get a thank you here and there, but a lot of the people, they won't really give you the props you deserve. But when you get into nursing, you can go into the elderly field and you can take care of some old people, reminding you your grandma or grandpa who may have passed and and they got a good life. And you might have to feed people and clean up after people like you're having a baby. But, and keeping them locked in an area because, of course, they can't be really trusted much to be on their own because they're kind of loopy now. And who knows what they could do. They could hurt themselves most of the time if they go outside. But yeah, or you can get into the other side of nursing, which is nursing the crazy people. The really crazy people. Giving them medicine to help make them better. But most of those people could be doing life in a ward. or could have done really heinous things, even though they don't seem like a bad person. They just don't know any better, or taking care of the disabled, or someday opening up like an adult group home where you can turn your house into basically taking care of people with mental illnesses. That's a very hard job, because you got to take care of them, and a lot of people that get into that industry, they're kind of bad, or they're not all good, because they have to deal with the most stressful people ever, with people that don't understand basic common sense, and I feel for those people. Or military nursing, you could work at a VA hospital, meeting the veterans, the people that done fought and nearly died, that came back because they didn't die. And you can help them with therapy and stuff like that. Then also in the medical field, you can become a therapist. You could talk to kids and help them with their day, or you could become an online therapist for one of those like Better Health or something like that with your therapy degree in psychology. And you can help these basically these teens get through the hardships in their life and give them advice and become like a friend, a voice in their ear that can help them get through the pain and trauma that they experience, that you could have also experienced. And so the medical field is a very good field, and it'll never die. Technology's going up, so the technology field is pretty good. But the arts and entertainment field, I'm in the entertainment field myself. Self-employed, independent artist, skitsaphranicra, all platforms basically. Sometimes on Instagram it's Exuive, but skitsaphranicra is in the name title, because that's basically the basic gist of my music. And starting off with becoming your own independent artist is kind of hard. It took me about, I'm in my 9th year, about to my 10th year, and I finally start to see some growth and some blow up and some progress after many years of just putting it out there and then only getting like a couple views, but I gained my loyal fans. That's what I like about it. I gained loyal people, and I got to speak my mind. And I'm not really anymore, like in the early days, speaking about my pain as much in life on the street, because I kind of got out of the street life. I managed to escape the streets, even though the streets be calling my name. And it takes a lot of work to get into music, because not only you have to get out there with marketing and promotion eventually, after you build a nice loyal fan base that can expand your name, and then you have to put out the content and you have to constantly do it. You think that these rappers that you see, the music industry is a very hard industry to get into, and I'm barely cracking my way in after 9 years of learning the shit. By year 10, I'll probably be somewhat popular in the music industry. I won't be like one of those people that has a label behind them with thousands and thousands of dollars backing them. No, I do this. I might run like a little $5 ad here. Now, in year 9, the first years I wasn't doing that stuff. I was just putting it out because I wanted somebody to find it and then be empowered by it, and so they could see my growth and my life as it adapts and changes. And now I go into making stories with characters and giving you an escape from life, instead of pushing you more into the evil side of the streets. I don't be doing Joe rap. I don't be dissing the dead really as much, except for a few people that kind of I didn't really say their name, but I've done some dirt. I've done a lot of dirt. I've done a good amount of I've done a great amount of dirt, nigga. I've done evil ass shit for good, and I've done good ass shit for right, and I try my hardest to stay out the wrong. And most of these kids growing up, they hear about kill, drugs, sex. But that isn't real life. Real life is exploring you you see all these people getting arrested and locked up, these teens, because they decided to join the street life. And the OGs are trying to push them away from the street life, but also give them a way to start coming up a little bit. I'm an OG now. That's why I got some respect and my name's starting to go up, because I got a crazy ass background in criminal history. I've been in the padded room over 15 fucking times, nigga. And I keep on getting let out because I have a message to spread. Do you have a message to spread? First you have to figure out yourself. It isn't as simple. Well, music, technically speaking, is as simple if you want to get into the music industry. It's just making a catchy line and throwing some bars about some craziness, hoping that people will click and clickbait and warp these kids' minds. I don't want to warp these kids' minds. I want to fix these kids' minds. That's why my music is starting to be less about the labels and industry pushing me down, and they're starting to bring me up, because they're seeing all the craziness that they're causing, even though it makes them money. And I'm an independent artist, which means I own 100% of my royalties, and I have a publishing deal, which I get a percentage of, a high percentage of, and they get a small percentage of, and also pay into my publishing to keep them afloat while I release more and more music. Might actually record tonight while this is up, not while this is uploading, but after this is uploaded. I might start recording maybe Monday to get an album out by like Tuesday, because I just have to keep on going, being the artist with the most releases in the world, showing all parts of him. Not just trying to get you the image that you want to see because you think it'll get you clicks, but showing all the parts of me, because I may be a very good person, or a nice person, I should say, a kind person. But when I get angry, when I get mean, when I get pushed up, I'm sorry, but very few rappers in the industry can compare to me. Yeah, they might be like, oh yeah, I killed this nigga, shot this nigga in the street in the car, drive-by. I'm that person. I'll walk up to you and I'll stab you in front of your family in a cookout. And then when your family tries to do shit, I'll stab them too. It'll be a fight to the death in that fucking cookout, nigga. It'll be a fight to the fucking death. With me versus your entire fucking family, and I'm most likely gonna come out on top. What can I say? I take my medicine for a reason. I'm ruthless, but I'm also have a kind heart. Because I don't want to lead through power. Most people think that it's money, power, respect, or drugs, sex, and money. No. It is love, family, and respect. Because if you show that you have love, then people can love you if you love yourself. If you show that you love your family and you have a relationship with your family, even how small, and you put the ones that you love, which are usually your family twins, above all, and they stick with you throughout your life, you will have a good life. In respect, because even though everyone does some dirt, nobody's completely a fucking angel, no matter how much they try and say that they're a fucking angel. They fucking ain't, nigga. They fucking ain't. You need the respect by actually putting in the work and showing these motherfuckers that when you say you'll kill somebody, you'll actually kill them. And most of the time, I won't even lie, nobody even got a message. Like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. Let me catch you on the street. No, there was none of that shit. I just tracked the motherfucker down and I killed their ass. There was no trace, no record, no verbal abuse. It was just, I found the nigga, I killed the nigga, and I got away with the murder. That's how it goes. But then when we get more into careers, so we cover like arts and entertainment, like the music industry, and possibly even we can get a little bit into filming. You want to take some filming classes, that's going to go and take technology a little bit, because most of the stuff is used with special effects, and so you gotta be really good at special effects, showing blood and splatter and fucking alien UFOs come through the sky at thousands of pixels, editing each pixel individually, nigga, to make it look as clean and as fit as possible so that many people watch your movie. And you also have to learn some practical special effects, so mostly everything's done with special effects through a company now. So we covered arts and entertainment, we covered the medical industry, we covered communication, also a little bit of part of the medical industry. And then last, basically, we have the entrepreneurs with the business side, which I covered a little bit, but let's get more into it. If you want to start a business, maybe you want to start a restaurant. First, you're going to need a lot of money because most of these restaurants need cooks and need servers, or need cashiers at least, and they need a name. And getting your name out there, unless you're a local business, to run a food truck is pretty hard. And so you need millions of dollars to buy into a franchise, and then you get a building, and then you put up the franchise sign, and then you sell their food. And you collect some money after spending a whole bunch of money, so it slowly pays back over time. Or you might say, oh, I like doing the most is maybe knickknacks. Sorry, but that ain't gonna make you any money. You're gonna be poor and you're gonna die poor. Sorry about that. It's a fact, a life. There are too many industries that sell knickknacks that are mainstream and corporation owned, like Family Dollar and Dollar Tree and Dollar General and stuff like that sell small little knickknacks that you'll never be able to compete with the price. So if your thing is knickknacks, the best you will ever be able to do is starting your own Amazon store and selling the things that you make online. And you might be able to make some decent amount of money off of it, but it'll be a lot of work, and it won't be auto production, basically. It'll be a lot of manual labor, and it'll be a lot of work for a small payoff. But then there's also engineering and designing. Do you want to design the next car? Do you want to make the flying car, motherfucker? Too bad they'll never be street legal. Unless it's a hover car and it's completely AI and there's no way that you can take control of it. Otherwise, a motherfucker will just run their fucking car through your little daughter's window on the second floor of your fucking house, nigga, and kill your daughter instead of possibly hitting your front porch. What can I say? It's a fact. That's too dangerous. If people could actually hit the upper rooms, the houses and stuff like that with their car, there would be so much more risk with cars. And airplanes usually always cheaper just to fly an airplane a couple hundred to a couple thousand miles. That's already tested to work. But land to sea vehicles, those are pretty interesting field you could possibly get into. Or engineering, becoming a mechanic, fixing people's cars, fixing people's technology inside their car when they hit a button and their car doesn't unlock. Because there's a short in the wire, and you can get paid pretty good money for being a mechanic. And most people get into that stuff early. You can weld and you can make your own cars for your family that you know will run because you tested it out and you put all your effort and heart and soul into it. And when you have kids eventually, you can teach them how to make stuff, and then they'll become a productive member of society. So engineering is also very good, and you can be building military hardware, like bombs and drones and fucking UAVs and goddamn fucking tanks, and making new tanks, nigga. You could get a military contract someday, be an engineer for a military contractor, and you could make some type of weapon that could someday save the planet from aliens. Or you could become a scientist and develop chemicals and work with chemicals in a controlled setting, hopefully not releasing viruses to the public. And science is a very, very, very high-paying career. You can get some nice lake houses and But it's a dangerous job too, because you're working with chemicals that if they touch you, they could burn your skin, and you could be permanently disfigured, or they could make you choke to death, or they could burn the inside of your lungs and forever make it so that you have a fucking talking like this, boy, because I fuck with the wrong chemicals. But then you get in the scientific industry, the chemicals in biology and stuff like that, making vaccines in case another virus does come that could possibly hurt humanity and kill the elderly and kill the sick and kill the weak. You could be the one to make the cure for that stuff by researching and developing antibodies for a virus and injecting it into people in a vaccine. It's all about what you want to do. Those are the major fields. There are some other ones, like getting into sports, but you usually get a scholarship for that in college. But you can also try and join the team. You can do tryouts. You can take the athletic side. Instead of using your brain, you can use your brawn. But you still need to get good grades, and you still need a backup career. You don't want to be the retired basketball or NBA or NFL player or soccer player or tennis player or volleyball player. You don't want to be retired one of those without a second follow-up backup plan for when your body eventually gives out, because nobody stays young forever. Nobody. You can be fit and healthy as a 30-year-old in your 60s though. That's possible. But you need something to fall back on. And the entire time while you're in college, you can do content creation like I'm doing right now, just to get your name out there and get a somewhat resume of what you do and what you talk about and what you like and what you don't like. And you can do content on the background while you're getting your degree, because content is not guaranteed. My music is my main career, but I have other sources of income that I fell back on, which allowed me to basically pursue music hardcore every day I can. Constantly thinking about what I'm going to do. And the next project is going to be a nice continuation of the story, like, oh, he was here, and now this happened, now he's here, and you're going to see the story continue and evolve over the next 3 parts after the first part that's already out now. You got to love yourself. And finding a career is finding something you enjoy as a passion so it doesn't overwork you and you just feel like you're tired. Then, of course, we have law. Law is very hard because the laws are written in black and white, but they can be perceived many ways. And you could be somebody defending somebody who got in a car accident, all the way to somebody defending somebody who got bodies and murders and will probably kill more people when he gets out. And you don't want this dude to get free, but you still gotta try and defend him. And law school is a very hard thing with a lot of stress, because there are a lot of laws and there are a lot of codes, and getting into law can also get into music and doctors, and law can go all around every single other field is based around law. And so you can basically get into law, and you can pursue law, and you can learn the laws, and you can learn how to fight for people, and you could someday defend an innocent person, or someday defend a guilty person that you know is guilty, and you're just trying to get this dude to make a deal, but he thinks he can get off the case because he's young or stupid. Not everyone will have a story like mine. What can I say? I was basically went through trauma as a kid getting my first bodies, and it drove me to become a very, very, very heartless motherfucker in the streets. What can I say? But my lawyer is basically Better Call Saul, nigga, because I got out the pad room 15 times. I ain't doing life. I'm talking to you right now. I'm explaining to you how you can change your life. Whether you're a teen, a young adult, a kid that's kind of exploring this and somehow got on to seeing this stuff, or even in your middle age and you won't really be able to become a doctor, and odds are you ain't gonna become. Well, you could become an actor basically, because some actors only blow up after many years of trying. There ain't no really school for comedy, nigga. Comedy is basically you're born with it or you're not, nigga. I'm sorry to tell you, but nobody just becomes funny unless you're stealing other people's shit. So, and then eventually people are gonna find out that you're stealing the stuff, and then you're gonna lose all your fans, and then you're gonna get sued by the law department, nigga. And all the money that you made is gonna go to this nigga now, and you're gonna be broke on the street, wishing that you just chose a different career path. But you can do stand-up comedy in your free time. Like, oh, maybe I can get a couple laughs. Maybe I can entertain some people. And this could someday become a side or main career. And that's entertainment and arts and stuff like that. So we went through law. We went through technology. We went through science. We went through medical. And we went through sports a little bit. And with sports, always have a backup career, because you ain't going to be number one quarterback for the rest of your life. You ain't going to be 70, 80 years old still throwing the pigskin out there to the 20-year-old. That ain't going to happen. Everyone has an expiration date on their athletic career. And when you're done, you want to fall into something that can help people most likely, or help yourself, once you actually have a name out there. But if you're just known for being a big ass dude that's a quarterback, and you don't have that law degree in the background, or you don't have that therapy degree in the background, picture that. Picture what if one day your kid is like 13, 14, and he's just gone through a whole bunch of times, and you're probably in like your 30s or 40s, probably getting close to your 50s maybe. And then you sign up for a therapist, and then all of a sudden, Tom Brady is your motherfucking child's therapist. Picture that shit, nigga. That's what you want as an athlete. You want to still be a part of and ingrained in the community, even though you have millions of dollars. Picture a quarterback like Tom fucking Brady teaching your troubled teen about life and giving him motivation with all them trophies and Super Bowl rings in his office, while your kid's going there talking about how he's being bullied in school and nobody really likes him, or he thinks that people don't like him. And then you got Tom fucking Brady, nigga, telling your kid, it'll be okay. I believe in you. I've made millions of dollars. You can. Picture that. That's the type of athlete that you want to be. Or picture Tom Brady is a fucking surgeon, nigga. He was throwing them passes. He done ran 1,000 yards that fucking season, nigga. He with that ball. As soon as he got it, he went through all the linebackers, and now he's doing your heart transplant surgery, nigga. You can do it, Tom Brady. Steph Curry. Picture that. Picture Steph Curry is the dude that's defending you in court in his 40s or 50s. Like, picture that. Steph Curry defending you in court someday, because you got into a car accident, or somebody maybe hit you, or through some legal dispute, and then it's Steph Curry right there, boy. Then a very famous basketball player, literally just navigating the law and defending you for quarters of what he used to make, quarters of the hundreds of dollars that he used to make, defending you. Picture stuff like that if you want to become an athlete. Picture what you can give back to your community besides giving a little bit of money to charity or volunteering your time. You can volunteer the rest of your life when you're finally out of the game. And you can make a profit doing it so that you may have millions of dollars in the bank, but you're still doing something with your time besides just going out and partying and ruining your body beyond what it already is in your old age. You can get into nonprofits, social work. You could help separate kids from bad parents that are gonna drug them or hurt them or try to eat their ass. Literally, munch, give me your fingers. All types of crazy shit like that, nigga. Or you can help the homeless change their life around so they can go to college and social work. Or you can help the people that are just trying to go by their average day and they fell in hard times. And now they need a house. Or their house is destroyed somewhat. Or this or that or this or that. There are millions of things that can happen to anyone any day. And you avoid most of them. Those are the main careers that you want to try and follow. That will give you a somewhat successful life in America, at least. And in some other countries. Those are the careers that you want to follow that are proven to give you money and will secure your future. But you need, if you go into the athletic field, you need, I repeat, you need to go into one of these other categories while you're actually getting your way into the NFL or the NBA. Otherwise, you're going to fade out of obscurity, and then you're going to fade out the public eye, and then eventually you're going to fade out of life. That's how it goes. This has been Schizophrenic to the motherfucking raw, nigga. Schizophrenic raw, bitch ass hoe. With episode 0021. 0021, nigga. Talking about careers. And jobs. And life, nigga. And life. Have a good one.